Oh, hey you two. I just got back. What do you need?
We found an unidentified female victim in one of the mud baths at the spa.
God, Portia, no! Portia Wiseman, she's the manager of the spa. She's the only other one with a key. Just the thought that she might have been in there when it went up. I'm sorry, it's just horrible.
We can't be sure who she is until we get a positive identification.
Of course. Let me lock up here. Oh, Portia. No. What were you doing in there?
Actually, we were hoping you could help us shed some light on that. Would you mind answering a few more questions?
Sure.
Had she mentioned any kind of health problems or filed any sort of complaint against your company?
No, nothing like that. Why?
She had mesothelioma, a type of cancer caused by asbestos.
Oh, that's horrible, but what does it have to do with my company? I don't know anything about any asbestos.
The ceiling of the spa is coated with asbestos-laced paint.
Really? I guess I'll have to take your word for it. You really think Portia got cancer from working at the spa? Oh, she never said anything to me about it.
Think back. Did she ever seem unusually angry or depressed?
Well, we weren't exactly close, but I got the feeling she was in a troubled relationship. Little things here and there, really.
Such as?
One Friday, I asked her if she had any fun plans for the weekend. Not really, she said. Just hanging out with the boyfriend. She said it like it was a root canal or something. It wasn't just that. I think he hit her.
Why do you think that he hit her?
Well, Portia always seemed to like showing off her body. I even had to ask her once to wear more than just her bikini to work. But one week, a while back, I can't remember exactly when, she wore long-sleeve shirts every day, and she seemed depressed. When I asked her about it, she gave me some lame excuse about needing to do laundry. But when she thought I wasn't looking, I saw her rub her arm and wince. Well, Portia was a very private person. I know almost nothing about her boyfriend, except what I was able to infer.
Was the spa making money?
Sure. I mean, it can always get better, right? But it was profitable.
Is there anyone you can think of who might have had a reason to start the fire at the spa?
No. I mean, who blows up a spa?
She's not in the phone book. I looked.
Oh yes, I know where she lived. Let me write it down for you. I never got the chance to visit her. Here you go. So, I hate to ask, but is that everything you need from me right now? I have to come up with something to tell the board about why I let the insurance run out. And I can't really focus on that while I'm here.
I think we have what we need for now. You'll be at the barber shop if we need you?
I may have some errands to run, but I will be there for some time today, for sure.
Las Vegas Crime Lab, drop the weapon now!
Driver's license says Brian Reed. You mind telling us why you were in Portia Weissman's apartment, Mr. Reed?
It's my girlfriend's apartment. Well, ex-girlfriend as of yesterday.
Do you break into all your ex-girlfriend's apartments?
What? No, I didn't break in. I have a key.
Come on, the door was bashed open and you were standing there with a sledgehammer.
The door was busted in when I got there, so I grabbed the tool just in case the guy who broke in was still hanging around. Hey, just call Portia. She's angry with me, but she'll back me up. A fire? Oh, God. Is she okay?
Unfortunately, Miss Weissman never made it out of the mud bath.
You mean It can't be.
Mr. Reed, we're sorry for your loss.
A fire.
So were you tying up loose ends after you torched the spa?
What? That's crazy! The only loose ends I was tying up were my toothbrush and an extra pair of underwear. And now you tell me she's gone and you're acting like I had something to do with it?
Mr. Reed, Brian, we have no evidence implicating you right now. And we know it must be a shock to hear about Portia. We need your help to figure out what happened to her. I hope you can understand why we want to know the reason you were standing there with that thing.
Sure, yeah, I can see how it looks. But really, it's just like I told you. I stopped by to pick up my stuff, yeah, including the hammer, and the door was broken open. I grabbed the tool for protection on the way inside. It was just inside the door. I wasn't there for more than a minute before you two showed up.
You mentioned that as of yesterday, you and Portia were no longer together. Was this a mutual decision? Or did Portia break up with you?
No, I broke it off with her. Her drug problem was getting in the way. Weed. She knew I couldn't. She knew I had a problem with it, but she kept putting it in my face. But maybe she'd still be alive. Oh, God.
Did you hit her?
Hit her? No, absolutely not. I would never hurt her.
Come on, Brian, I get it. She got a little out of line, right? So you had to shake a little sense into her.
It wasn't like that. She just, liked it a little rough sometimes. Look, it's not really my kind of thing, but she made it worth my while.
Cancer patients are sometimes prescribed medicinal marijuana to help them cope with the side effects of treatment.
Cancer? Well, that may have started a habit, but her cancer's been in remission for years.
The autopsy found mesothelioma in the lining of her heart. She didn't have long.
But she never told... I didn't know. She never told me.
Can anyone verify your location between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m.?
I don't think so, no. I was at home hanging out with my buddy Jack for most of the night. But by then, Jack was gone, and I was pretty much passed out on my couch.
Can your buddy Jack confirm your story?
Well, I try not to ask the bottle too many questions. People look at me funny.
What do you do for a living, Brian?
Living? I'm kind of between jobs right now. I'm looking for something in construction, but I'm not having a lot of luck. I do have a couple of leads, though, so ask me in a week, maybe.
We might have some more questions for you soon. Would you mind waiting?
I might as well. You probably won't get much out of me once I have a chance to start drinking.
Jim, could you do a background check on Brian Reed?
I called it in on the way over. I'll let you know what turns up.
Let's head back to Portia Weissman's apartment. Maybe there's some evidence there that can link the break-in to the fire. We need to find a shoe that matches this impression. It's made out of some kind of dirt. We should get a sample. If we can link the shoe impression to someone, then this dirt might tell us where he's been. Some of the marks here are thin and straight, but some are circular, just like the holes in the drywall at the spa. This isn't just a hammer. It looks like something off a fire truck.
Hey,
I ran a background on Brian Reed. Turns out that up until last week, he was a captain with the Las Vegas Fire Department. His battalion chief told me Reed had a mixed service record, multiple commendations for bravery, but the guy was also on probation for insubordination. Well, when Reed failed a random drug test last week for the use of cannabis, they fired him.
This reminds me. The notorious serial arsonist John Leonard Orr was both a fire captain and an arson investigator. A black hair pulled out at the root. Portia was a blonde, and Brian Reed has red hair. Someone else was here. Storing something in the broiler pan. Guess it's a little late to warn Portia about the fire hazard. Dates and dollar amounts. It looks like a record of the spa's finances. The case is open, and the hard drive is missing. Brian Reed's Denver tool is a match to the markings on Portia Weissman's door.
Mr. Reed, or should I call you Captain Reed?
Not anymore. I'm no longer with the Las Vegas Fire Department.
I bet you've seen a lot of buildings burn, and I bet you know a lot of ways to light them up.
You know something, buddy? You are way the hell out of line. I devoted my life to jumping into the flames and saving people. And I lost friends in those buildings I've seen burn. So for you to sit there and insinuate that I may be an arsonist is the most offensive thing anyone has ever said to me. And Portia? You think I set Portia on fire? I mean, I don't know what kind of animals you people have to deal with, but that's not me!
Being a firefighter was obviously very important to you. So it must have hurt to lose that.
Yeah, well, they were just looking for an excuse. I was actually trying to keep my head down.
You were on probation.
It was a tenement fire in the Alphabets. Battalion chief thought the place was coming down. Ordered me not to go back in. You'd think I might earn a little slack for telling the boss to piss off, but let me save a room full of kids. And again, if I'd stopped at piss off, maybe I would've.
Wasn't Portia the one with the drug problem?
Yeah, it was her problem, and she's the reason I got fired. Portia made pot brownies. Now, she says she didn't dose me intentionally, but she did leave the damn things right where I would find them, and she didn't tell me what they were. I ate 3 of them. I could barely get out of bed for like a day and a half. I don't know how anyone can stand that stuff. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, Happy Monday! Go pee in a cup! I dumped her because she got me fired from a job I loved.
It's a firefighting tool, isn't it?
It's called a Denver tool. Firefighters use it for getting into and out of places.
Places like apartments?
Only if they're on fire.
We think you used your Denver tool to break Portia's door in.
I told you I got a key! Look, take it if you need it.
You see those marks? They line up perfectly with your Denver tool.
Mine or anybody else's. Even if it was a Denver tool, no firefighter did that. If I really wanted to bring that door down, I'd pry the hinges off. The last thing I'd do is hack at it like a maniac.
Looks like Mr. Baja isn't here, but we could always knock. No answer. No answer. Thanks for sticking around.
No problem. I'll be waiting.
The axe head matches the thin slashes, and the hammer side matches the bigger holes. This tool, or one very similar to it, was used to ventilate the drywall at the spa. The fire was set by someone with the knowledge to burn that building to the ground.
I don't care what you say. I would never start a fire.
The drywall at the spa was ventilated with a Denver tool.
it wasn't my Denver tool. Anybody can buy one on the internet. Even Portia had one.
Why did Portia have a Denver tool?
She took mine. She wanted it for protection. Said it creeped her out to be alone in that place all day.
By that place, do you mean the spa?
Yeah, she had hers at the spa.
You know something? You're right. There are a lot of other Denver tools floating around out there. But in this case, I really only think there's one I need to worry about. And it belongs to you. You followed Portia to the spa, and when she was nice and relaxed in her mud bath, you torched the place. And then you went back to her apartment to get your things, and a few of her things too. And then you tried to disappear. I bet you figured, hey, if it looks like a break-in, then no one will suspect the boyfriend who's already got a key to the place. And that might have worked for you too. But you forgot to light a fire under yourself. You were still standing right there when we rolled up.
Captain, I respect the police. I really do. I know what it's like to go out there every day and put it all on the line. And I know you're just doing your job. But if you can look me straight in the eye and really hear what I'm saying to you, and yet still believe that I could do this to Portia, then I feel very, very sorry for you, because you're not qualified to carry that badge. Now, are you really gonna arrest me, or what?
No, we're not going to arrest you, Brian. But we'd appreciate if you could hold tight here for a while.
All right, I will. For now. And like I said, I'm happy to answer your questions, but no more finger pointing, or I'm done.
We understand. Thank you. You said that Portia spent hours alone at the spa. How often did she do that?
Just about every day. You know, there were times I started to believe that place might be some sort of front.
A front?
Yeah, you know, for money laundering. Portia was convinced, and she was keeping her own records. She told me that place wasn't making a dime.
Did anyone else know Portia was keeping financial records?
I think she might have mentioned it to a boss, which seemed like the wrong guy to talk to about it, but she trusted him. At least she did. But after she talked to him, she got all paranoid. Ended up hiding all the papers in the broiler drawer. I thought she was just high. Hey, you guys looking at him for this?
Thanks for sticking around.
No problem. I'll be waiting.